Absolutely. Good to see y'all this morning. Well, this evening, because I've been up all morning. Smash the like button, like and share the video. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. Let's get it. I don't want to hold y'all. Y'all got stuff to do. It's Friday night. Who am I kidding? We're old. Absolutely. Mind of Mansa Musa. Harmonize. Rod Nail. Sam Mack. Melanin. Shawa. Salute Queen. Tay. Salute. Smash the like button, like and share the video. This is a topic that I wanted to discuss. And when I put together this meme, you know what I noticed? Night Train Salute. You know what I noticed? I just grabbed two random sisters and I'm looking at their face. You know they kind of look alike. Look at this picture. I swear to God, these are two different women. But they kind of look alike, don't they? Strange. That was not on purpose. Charlene, salute. So I want to discuss academic brilliance versus social ineptness. Do you know what it is to be, well, academic brilliance? That's self-explanatory, but do y'all know what it is to be socially inept? You know what that is? Well, basically, I want to keep things very simple. I don't want to go through the definitions of everything. I'm just going to explain it because I'm sure, Demon, salute. I'm sure at some point you've known people like this, or this may have been you. Let me talk to the ladies. Y'all ever knew somebody who's academically brilliant? I mean, colleges beating down their door, full scholarship. Whatever grade they were in, they were reading on a grade level that was above and beyond. I mean, you just knew they were going to be a doctor. And socially, they were inept. Let me tell you a little story about a young lady I went to high school with. She was the young lady you wanted to sit next to during all the tests because she was scoring hundreds. I mean, teachers' pet, crazy. Teachers loved her. She was just sharp. If she was scoring a mid 95 or 98 on a test, she was upset about it. She was used to getting hundreds and that's it. When she scored 90, she was pissed. She took her education very serious. If you needed a question answered, she knew it. And that was her. Well, from what I understand, she had got a full scholarship. I forgot what college, but it was somewhere in, I want to say Virginia. Goes to Virginia, and we ran into some of the ladies that hung out with her, and we was talking. So me and my boy, we went to the same high school. We ran into some of the girls that we all went to high school together. We ran into them somewhere on Fordham Road. We was talking. We was like, yo. She was like, yo, you remember? I don't want to say Shorty's name. He was like, yeah. She good? What, did she graduate already? She only been in the school for a year? No, she home. Home. What happened? She got hurt or something? Her feelings. What happened? Went to college. First time away from home with no supervision and nothing. Got pregnant. Tried to hide it. And once everyone found out, there goes your full academic scholarship. And she went to a 4-year, woke, salute, 4-year joint and blew it. Because she went down there and fell in love with the first dude that showed her attention, got the drawers. She got pregnant, had to go home. And I'm assuming his behind stayed down there and finished his education. Edumacation, that's how we used to say it back then. And I was like dumbfounded. You know why? Because she was also pretty. But any guy that tried to shoot their shot at her, they were getting shut down. It was amazing. As soon as she got to college, gave it up to somebody and she goofed herself up. This was 1995. Young Hollywood, salute. So I think she had a daughter and she's good and grown now. But she goofed up and set her education back, from what I understand, because everyone got reconnected on Facebook to a degree. And I saw her and I'm like, oh, okay. I saw the kid. And back then, the kid's good and grown now. But I'm saying, from what I heard, she had a free ride through, I forget, but I heard she had an academic scholarship to, Miss Shelton, what up? I want to say it was in Virginia, I forgot, but she goofed it up. Young Hollywood in that super chat, man, salute to you, good brother. Much love and appreciation. Thank you. She goofed herself up. So her girlfriends was like, well, man, I don't understand how that happened, because, she used to rock the test and we used to like sitting next to her because she knew all the answers. And me and my boy was like, yo, listen, man, y'all would have never went down to college and did that, right? Right. Nah, okay. Why do you think that? Whenever y'all hung out on the weekends, where was she? In the house. She didn't peep game. She knew enough to stay away from, the cats that was trying to holler at her in school. She knew that much. But some of these kids, when they go away, they're on their own. It's like, man, I ain't got a curfew. I'm trusted to get up on time, go to class on time, come back on time, study. I have some freedom out here. And this doesn't only apply to the women. What I've seen with the boys is they can go to a school and it's like hitting the reset button. If they go to a school out of state and they don't know anybody, and especially up here, all you have to do when you go away to another school anywhere in the country is say you're from New York. Well, I don't know what it is today, but back in my day, because people were fascinated with my city. I don't get it. I grew up here. Maybe that's why I don't get it, but they were fascinated. They were fascinated. You from New York? Oh my God. Okay, whatever. And I heard it was getting like that with Los Angeles. You from LA? Oh my God. 2 major cities. So it was just strange. With the boys, it was, you could reinvent yourself. If you was a clown up here and you was getting bullied, you go to college, you're different. You're from New York and you can make stuff up. Who's gonna check on you? I mean, nowadays you got social media, you can't hide. But back then, you could be a whole new different person. So my former classmate, as soon as she got to college, year 1, goofed herself up. And, she's doing okay now. She's doing okay now, but, she could have done better by not fouling out the game. You know what I mean? crazy stuff, right? So academically, she was brilliant. Socially, she was a fool. Comes a point in time where, some of you guys, you have children, you got to take the gloves off and let them know what's real. You understand? Don't just tell them what to do and what not to do. You have to show them why you can't do that, why you can't do certain things, you can't handle certain things. And these days, everything's online. Your kids already know. Trust me. Speak freely. Exactly, Angel. Exactly. You could be book smart, but street smart does play. You can't be a fool out here. I'm glad my former classmate, I'm glad she's okay. I'm glad she's okay, but that was a hiccup, and I couldn't imagine her having to come home, and she came from a 2-parent household too. I remember that too. I mean, that must have been painful, man, but my gosh. Academic brilliance will take you real far. But if you don't have that fine balance of what to do in the world, you can't be socially inept. There was a Kid and Play movie called what was it called? Remember it was a Kid and Play movie. It was after House Party 2, but before House Party 3. What was it called? Was it Head of the Class or whatever? I forgot the name of it. Class Act, Rodney. That's what it was. It's Class Act. It's a good film. Kid was the book smart guy and Play was the thug. And there were certain things that Play couldn't do that Kid could do. It's a good movie. Harmonize, I agree. Her parents, they did. They did. Let me ask y'all a question. This picture. Y'all ever knew that young lady that was immersed into the church, not because it's what she wanted, but it was who her parents were or are? For us, church was on Sunday. Y'all ever knew that family where it was on Sunday, but it was all day Sunday? 8 in the morning, then Bible study at like 4. So you're doing like a whole tour at work. A whole tour at work from 8 to 4. And then you eat. Then there's Bible study. And then you gotta wait because grandma's having a conversation with all the professional ass whoopers. You know who the professional ass whoopers in church were, right? The old woman that sat in the front with the big hats. Get caught playing in the church when you was an adolescent. They will bust you up. They had a degree in whooping ass. Don't act out. I've seen enough ass whoopers in church to know. And the pastor, he won't break a stride. He'll be reading main biker salute. He'll be reading the passage, and grandma slide off, and the kid is just fidgeting in the chair, got his feet up, and then here she come with the bell. Bop, bop, bop. And people will look. They're like, oh, well, anyway, go to John passage, whatever. And it's like, ooh, that was some ass whooping, huh? If you came up in a black church, you saw that. I never got caught like that, but cousins did, friends did. Ain't break a stride. All those grandmas in the front row with the big hats. Who's that acting up? That's Raheem. And I don't know how we don't even see them move because they all sitting there. When I got a little older, I'm like, who's moving? Who's grandma that? Ooh, and then you turn around. You try and catch a little John's attention, like, yo, chill. Uh-oh. Oh, and you just don't turn around. All you hear is, you did not take it. And you know they tearing your ass up. When you getting your ass whooped by the longest sentence in the world. And you know we break shit up in parts. Didn't I tell you to stop moving yo ass? I'm gonna bust you up. It's like, yo, hurry up. This is terrifying. I remember we was down south somewhere. Went to one of my family members' church somewhere in, I want to say, we was in North Carolina somewhere. And then we walked into that big old church, and the whole front row, all I saw was those giant ass hats. I said, I don't want no smoke with what's going on in this church. They all turned around and smiled at the parents. Hey, hey, hey. And they looked at us and was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Because you already know what we're going to do. Ack, what up? You already know. Melanin said, my grandma took a switch to church. Let me tell you something. Y'all don't know what it's like to get hit with a switch. I caught that once. But, you know, I'm a city dude. But I have family in the South. I caught a switch once. You know, I've caught Jeff Sparks, salute. I've caught brushes, coat hangers, no wire hangers. Y'all remember that? Where's that from? No wire hangers. Yeah, I caught a cord. I caught that. Books. Fists. Open palms. Backhands. Belts. Slippers. Boomerang. I'm not kidding. A boomerang. A boomerang. Thank you, Shawa. Mommy Darius. No wire hangers. Oh, word, Jab? Bro, listen. There's no ass whooping worse than in the church, bro. My gosh. Those ass whoopings were legendary. A pot spoon. I didn't get. You remember that big ass wooden spoon and fork that every black person had in their house? I got hit with both of those. Yeah. Crazy stuff, man. Expert. But I never caught an ass whooping in church. Nope. All my friends did. I've seen some of my cousins catch it. Because any one of those grandmas moved, we looking around. Nicholas, what up? What up? It's all good. Whenever grandma in the front row got removed, we was like, yo, whose grandma's at? And we looking around to see who's goofing off. We was like, oh, she just going to the bathroom. Okay. As soon as she got up, we was like, who? That's Miss Johnson? Who? Oh, she just going to the bathroom. Heart start racing like, who? Who did what? We didn't do nothing. I was sitting here the whole time. And when we went to that big ass church in North Carolina, I was like, yeah, I saw all those hats in the front, like the first 3 rows. And they all turned around at once, like, hey, hey, hey. And they looked at the young ones, us, they were like, don't do it. You already know. You already know. And we sat there like this. We ain't want no smoke. Those grandmas will tear your ass up. You didn't even know you didn't even know if that was blood related to you. You be getting fucked up by someone else's grandmother. And they always had these funny ass rings. That shit was like a weapon. Yo. I remember my cousin's friend was getting beat up so bad. His shirt was yanked sideways and he was like this. And you know, it's not fair. Clarence McClain, what up? You know it's not fair when you're trying to defend yourself and they say, you raising your hand at me? No! No! This is special teams prevent. What are you doing? You trying to defend yourself. Didn't you hate that? You raising your hands at me? No, no! I don't want no smoke. I don't need this. Come on. And they have these weird ass emeralds on these rings with the spike holding on. And I don't even remember his name, but his face is in my mind. And he was catching, I'm talking straight right hands. And she was biting her bottom lip like, and she's like, I told you not to move. And he was, you raising your hands at me? And the pastor was just reading the passage. And we're terrified. We're like, what the fuck? We're trying to move. I tried to get up and go the other row. Uncle's like, you sit right there. See, we ain't got to deal with you. You acting up in the house. I'm like, we going to church on Sunday. Go ahead, act up in church. My God. And by the time he was done, he had the perfect little mini fro. It was the 80s, y'all. The early 80s. He had the mini fro with the shape up. Looking like Willis from looking like Willis from Different Strokes with the nice little mini afro. By the time she got done, he had the crackhead afro. It turned nappy. It was linked to the side. His eyes was bloodshot. Nose was running. You saw the dots in his head from the rings, and then she stomped off and sat down and said, Jesus. And he was just sitting there like, and then she turned around and said, you better not cry. And then he just sat there. My brother's 5 years older than me. So he was too old to be catching ass whippings because, he just wasn't like that. It was me, my cousins, and my brother looked, and he was like, and I'm like, don't, bro. Do not. And I can't remember homie's name, but he was like, I was like, oh, she's like, shut it up. Yo. Gary, what up? Terrified. Absolutely terrified. Don't play with grandma in the church, bro. It was over with. Absolutely terrifying, man. I was like, come on, man. You can't tell us not to cry. I was like, stop this. Why are you doing this? Don't beat our ass and tell us we're trying to defend our head. And then they say, you raising your hand at me? No, wait a minute. No. You trying to hit me back? No. Yo, I'll never forget that. And she said, don't shut it up. Don't make me come back there. What? What do you mean? Guys, I'll never forget that. Yo, my brother's an asshole. We got my uncle's Cadillac. We sat down in the back. He was like, I was like, stop, bro, stop. I was like, yo, if you don't stop, bro, stop. Sam's like, be in church, fight for our lives, not to cry. Yo, it was the worst. It was the worst, bro. It was the worst. Church was terrifying, man. Whenever we saw one of those old women move, we was like, yo, whose grandma's that? Somebody about to get fucked up. As long as my grandma moved, because when somebody getting fucked up, all those hats turn around and be like, don't act like you can't get it. You see him? Listen, my grandma was rocking the Goldberg shirt back in '83. Remember the Goldberg shirt? You're next? Please. Those hats meant you're next. You can get it. Because I swear, one of those sisters beat up old boy, and then we're standing there terrified, and then they said, "What you looking at?" Nothing. Nothing. You know what I can say? To my knowledge, every last one of us today do not have a criminal record as a result of that. I appreciate every last ass whooping that I've experienced and that I've seen. No ass whooping for me. Because when I became of age where I could leave the nest and explore on my own, a space and opportunity to do something wrong, which may have warranted police activity, every time I had to make a decision, I was like, how would I explain this to my parents? I'll see y'all later. And I pimp off. Yeah, let's go. Wait a minute. If we get caught, how am I going to explain this to my moms? You know what? I'll see y'all later. How am I going to explain this to my dad? You know what? I'll see y'all later. 100%. 100%. Sometimes I envision my grandma turning around me with that big ass hat with all those flowers in it. It could either be beautiful on her head or beautiful on your casket after she done beat you to death in the house of God. The choice is yours. Main biker in that super chat, he said, the first gang members I knew when them church women, they didn't fuck around. They didn't fuck around. They wobble in and walk all slow. Yep. And then when they catch the Holy Ghost, they jumping up like the Jordan logo. It's like, how is she? I don't believe her walking like that. She got like a 50-inch vertical now and high heels. And what was up with those shoes? Those heavy ass high heel black. You be walking on carpet. You be, damn, sound like horses trampling. They always had mints, glasses. Their wig game was up to par. And those bony ass hands hurt. Trust me. We used to have to line up to go down to Bible study. One of those sisters grabbed me by the goddamn wrist. It felt like someone wrapped a chain around my wrist. I felt more safe in a boxing ring at 8 years old against Mitch Green in the Bronx than at church sometimes, and I'm not kidding. My God. One of those sisters had a gold tooth, and she was like the leader. Yo, her Holy Ghost was the greatest thing I've ever seen. She used to speak in tongues. KP, what up? And she get the mic. Yo. They be like, watch out now. Go ahead, girl. Watch out. Here she go. And she be like, Lord. Oh, Lord. And she'll be singing. And then she'll start talking. Y'all don't hear me. Then she'll spin around. You do not hear me. Lord. It's excellent. Ow! And she power up. I knew what a saying was back then. I'm like, she came in on a walker. Now she's bouncing around on one foot. What is this? Angel, have you ever been to a black church? Bro, Eric Jordan, salute. Angel Diaz, you ever been to a black church? It's a sight. It is a sight. I mean, I can't. I can't remember that sister's name, man. You gotta be black and have gone to a church to understand how funny that shit is. To see a black person catch the Holy Ghost is a thing of, I'm just gonna say it, it's a thing of, it's pure comedic gold. Cause some of that shit is funny. I ain't even gonna hold you. It's funny. It's funny. It's beautiful, but it's funny. It is. I seen this brother catch the ghost and it looked like he was doing aerobics. He like did all this and his knees was, and he ran down the thing and then slid, and I was like, oh shit. Is he okay? Yo, I'm gonna do the black church episode, man. I know I went off topic for a second, but damn, gotta do the black church. Oh my gosh, bro. Night Train says, my dad took my brother and I to Mississippi every summer. My grandmother, the church there, it looked like the Blues Brothers scene. Do you see the light? Oh my gosh, bro. Yo. My gosh, man. My gosh. That's funny, man. He said the scene from the Blues Brothers. Y'all remember that? Do you see the light? Oh my gosh, man. That's funny, man. That is funny. I love the black church, man. Like, man, but it was great. Village Brothers, salute, man. It was great because I had some good times there. I'm not even gonna hold you. The ass whoopings were a part of growing up, man. But I remember the food; it was great. I remember the association; it was great. The funerals were super sad, but the I guess you can call it the after party, because you cried about him or her passing. But when they sat around and talked about their lives, because we were kids, but these are people that they've known each other for years. And I know people, some are still around, that they were kids, but back then they were adults from the civil rights era. So to hear them tell those stories is amazing. Looking back at it, it's amazing what they've overcome. And that's why I get so aggravated, you know, when I hear them. You ever heard a person, Eric Jordan, that super chat salute, he says, hashtag old Negro spiritual black church. We be getting it. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You ever heard, when you was younger, because the majority of them have went home to the Lord, but have you ever heard anyone that was like a young adult during the civil rights era that lived through it, that actually had bricks thrown at them, that actually saw water fountains and bathrooms that said for whites only. You ever heard anyone discuss that? It hits different. So that's why when I look at these kids, when the OG Mr. Mont says these kids have no connection with their ancestors, when we say ancestors, you're thinking, some people may think, oh, our roots in Africa. No, 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 no. We're talking about your great, great, great grandparents now that had bricks thrown at them. There's still sundown towns in America, but back then they were more like common, where your car can't break down there. Load up your gas tank because you gotta drive through straight through West Virginia. You can't stop. You can't stop and get gas. No, you will get offed, and they'll get away with it. That type of thing. So that's why, you know, I get aggravated when I see how these kids treat each other, and when they don't address certain things. I'm not gonna make it a boxing thing, but you know I'm talking about Tank. It's like, bro, what's wrong with you? What is the matter with you? You know, it's sad. Yeah, I know, Tank. Yeah, my dad, he's still alive. My mother's still alive. They were kids going through that. These kids don't know what racism today. They don't know what it is, man. They have no idea. My aunt was chased by a white man with a rifle when she was in college down south. 4 black girls trying to use the restroom at a diner or something. Got chased out of there. He said, you can't eat here. He's like, we're just using the restroom. We're not trying to eat. He said, okay. He went back to his Chevy and got a rifle. And got to dumping. He ain't just flash it. He got to dumping at them. And who do you tell? Who do you tell? The local sheriff? No. Bullet holes in the car? So? You ain't supposed to be here. You know you ain't supposed to be here. You see? And this is to you, it's a long time. It's not that long ago. The 50s and 60s, it's not that long ago. See what I mean? But let me bring it full circle. Academic brilliance. That's all my grandparents and parents had. Now, when you was a black woman, it was a little more rough. It was. All you did have was you was the backbone of the family. So where you couldn't do so, to be a white woman, you was kind of restricted too. But as a black woman, it was worse. So all you had was to be the backbone of the family, where your man, you know, your husband, not your baby daddy, your husband was out conquering the world. You were supposed to be his piece because he had to get up every day and do it. And all you had was your education. That's why the education was so important. So that's why I tell you, a lot of the women in my family, they're academically brilliant, but my roots are in the South. My family moved to the city. When they moved to Harlem, they became socially aware, and the people that were inept and they couldn't adjust because there was a migration from the South. There's a whole history with this. Maybe I'll talk about that, how we was in the South and it got so goddamn racist. A lot of us moved up north to the cities, New York, Chicago, Detroit. On the West Coast, they moved to LA. There's a whole thing that I saw about that too. And the Bloods and the Crips, what I was told, they were formed to defend against the crackers that were coming into the black neighborhoods and trying to like set our buildings on fire. And they were formed to protect. And then what happened? These new wave of niggas came in there and just offset the whole thing. That's what I heard. But the migration from the South up to the cities. My roots are in the South, right? The Midwest and stuff like that. but everyone moved to Harlem. Harlem, 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 Harlem. My mother and my father. Harlem, 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 Harlem. And it was different. There's buildings were big. You know, it's like, whoa, what's this? And what did they do in the neighborhoods? They threw drugs in the neighborhood. All we had was education. That was our power. That's how we fought. They couldn't call us dumb niggas anymore. I have a degree. It's just still an N-word. Okay, but I have a degree. So what? It's a whole different fight. You still live uptown. If you live in New York, Clarence will know this. Anything from 96th Street uptown is Harlem. 96th Street downtown, if you're ever in New York, get on Lexington Avenue and start uptown. Get on Lexington Avenue, 125th Street, and just drive down Lexington Avenue. As soon as you get across 96th Street, the buildings get taller. And you start seeing white people. 96th Street is a cutoff point. It's like, huh? It just like that. Just like that. It's the east side. It's Lexington, Madison, and Fifth Avenue by Central Park. The buildings change. It's like, huh? Yeah. All we had is our education. Eric Jordan back in that super chat salute. He says, my dad told me how racist it was back in his day. Yeah, bro. It was bad. That's what I'm saying. These kids, they have no idea. Now, our brother, Mr. Shelton, you know, some places ain't changed much. And although it's not in our faces much, it's still there. But turn the dial back to the 50s. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, exactly. Just far across street from Metropolitan Hospital. Yep. The neighborhood just changes just like that. Just like that. Yeah, he said Harlem is a half Fresh Prince, half Wire show. Yup. It's a good one. Yeah, so you had to, when education was all you had, that's all you could do is arm yourself with it. But when you throw drugs in the mix and start creating these obstacles, unless you're street smart, you don't know to look out for certain things. I'll give you a prime example. When the crack era was introduced to the black community, it's in the early 80s. It was unlike anything that they've ever seen. Marijuana was like the main thing, and for the most part, there was some black people on cocaine, but the that was usually affiliated with wealthy white folk. If you got a hold of it, you know, you was deep in the streets. Deep in the streets. Yeah, I heard about that shower. Yeah, this cat's still getting lynched out here, man. This is like, sometimes you're in the cities, it's its safest. And it's not, you're safe from that, I'll say. These cities, we have our own crap out here too. Don't get it twisted, but yeah, Night Train, racism, it's just got more covert. You know? Yeah, Shelton, I did. You know, but these cats didn't know what crack was, man. And it was all bad, bro. It was all bad. Hold on. I think I got Yeah, they didn't know how bad it was. It was just when it hit the scene. From this is what I was told. It hit the scene, and you want to get high fast. I heard it's more potent and better than that crack stuff, and it's cheaper. So they put down a blunt and they smoked that, and I was like, oh yeah, this is good. I'm try it again tomorrow. Try it again tomorrow. Try it again tomorrow. And it was unlike anything that law enforcement has ever seen. 10 degrees outside, and dudes is running around with no shirt on or a tank top, trying to climb in someone's window to steal a TV. And it's like, it's on the 3rd floor, there's no fire escape. How the hell did he even get up there? When these crackheads was doing like superhuman shit, and to try and steal a TV back out the window, how are you gonna get down? We're worried about that when I get to the window. What? These were the most bonker arrests. And I was like, wait a minute, Speed Demon salute. It's like, wait a minute. I know this guy, but am I sure it's just the guy? Because 5 months ago, he was 250 pounds. Now he's 100. What's going on? A real crackhead, if he hasn't eaten in 3 days, and you put his favorite meal in front of him, D-Man salute, his favorite meal in front of him, and the crack, and say you got to pick one and not the other. 100% they're picking the crack. This was unlike anything they've ever seen. And they dumped it into our community, man. Speed Demon, yeah, we're talking about academic brilliance versus social ineptness. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mr. Shelton, that was all President Reagan. That's a whole, that's a Patreon conversation. That whole crack era thing, that's a Patreon situation. Man, did a number on us, man. But there was some cats that they didn't even smoke weed. They didn't even smoke weed. So they was like, yo, what do you mean this is better than cocaine? I don't do cocaine. I don't smoke weed. And this is supposed to give you a better high than the cocaine that I stay away from? No, sir. But some people didn't know any better because they leisurely did the marijuana back when it was illegal. And then they leisurely snuck in with the cocaine. They snuck in. Let me stop using that term because YouTube get funny. Let's call it the yayo. So it's like, yeah, I got a little problem, yayo. The yayo. But it's under control. And what's this new thing? The crack? I can handle that. Nope. Had you running around 10-degree weather in the middle of winter in the 80s with a tank top on, snatching chains and shit. Black Martial Arts Society, salute to my brother Eric Jordan in that Cash App, much love. He said crack is a hell of a drug. Yeah, it sure was. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. It was ruining people out here. And they didn't know. They didn't know, man. But if you was socially right, you knew it. Y'all remember Lynn Bias? Y'all remember what happened with him? Oh, I know, Speed Demon. I know, it's a setup. All this legalizing marijuana, I'm not falling for any of it. I'm not falling for any of it, bro. That's never been my thing. It's just drank socially, but I never, I was never into that. That's right. Of course, Mr. Shelter. They didn't care about any of those hardcore drugs until it hit the suburbs. And then when you got to the root of the problem, they say, yo, man, Raheem up in Harlem, he can't get that drug comes from a plant that don't even grow in America. How's he getting all this stuff? It's being flown in. How did those guns get in Chicago? Those military issued guns. No black person can do that. How did it get there? And when you start asking questions, you already know. Speed Demon says, so you don't smoke, but do you think if you don't do drugs? Well, I don't understand what you're asking me, bro. Yeah, shout out the police, man. Listen, y'all ever heard of Clarence, you remember the Dirty 30? The Dirty 30 precinct in Manhattan, Washington Heights, the 30th precinct. Google it. I knew someone that worked there back in the day. The Dirty 30. You know what they were doing? They were allowing the drug dealers to operate. You can operate here, but you got to give me a cut. Look it up. It's on YouTube. When that made the news, there was a dude that was a cop that lived around my way. And we was like, wait a minute. I remember that. He drove a really nice car. And I said, man, police ain't making that much money. The Dirty 30, the 30th precinct, that's on Washington, it's in Washington Heights, the Dominican neighborhood. Those cats were shaking down drug dealers and allowing them to operate as long as they got a cut. Oh yeah, Mr. Shelton, you right? Yeah, bro. Oh yeah. Oh no, Speed Demon, I don't do any of that. I might have goofed around with it. Like I remember I was on Barbershop Conversations, and I had an empty bottle of Ciroc, but I was clowning. Was it Ciroc? I forgot, but I was clowning. But I don't indulge, bro. I'm not a drinker like that. I've never been a smoker. Tried it once, didn't like it, and then they told me, "Oh no, you didn't have some good. You needed some good stuff." Yes, I said no, thank you. It was on my clothes. When I did it, it got on the shirt. That when I washed it, the smell didn't come out the shirt. I threw the shirt away. I'm like, how the hell do people walk around smelling like that? I can't do it, bro. I just don't do it. And I ain't knocking you if you do. I'm just saying, anyone, I just don't do it. I just, I've had a little toast at birthday parties, champagne on, New Year's Day or whatever, but I'm not the type of person to be like, yo, man, let me get a beer out the fridge. No, I just don't. When I've gone to the clubs or like when I've worked back in the day, I bounced at clubs, I might have threw back a Heineken or a Corona, but it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not my thing. Right, Speed Demon. I don't. It's not, Yeah, I don't. Derek Gaines, the legend. Salute, brother. Yeah, it's just not my thing. It's never been my thing. You know what I'm saying? I like spaghetti. That was my thing. I like spaghetti. The spaghetti with some sauce and some cheese on it. You know what I mean? I like spaghetti. That's what I like. That's not that. I like spaghetti. So yeah, man. No, you sent me an email, brother? Yeah, I'm so bad with that because I got 3 emails. I gotta clear up my other one. Oh! Ooh! I'm gonna get on that. Thank you, Derek. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, buddy. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's huge news. But anyway, everything that I'm talking about is relevant to the title of the show tonight, man. There's a lot of people that were academically brilliant, but they said they had, you know, habits that was under control. But some of these things are not in your control. Drinking and smoking is, you think it's in your control, but it's not. To be socially inept is not knowing when to leave certain things alone because it's detrimental to your health and well-being. And I don't care how smart you are. If you're not aware of your surroundings, especially when you're not in your hometown, home state, in your home, if you're not paying attention to stuff, y'all know y'all got to teach y'all kids. I have a younger sister, and when she started going out, I told her, yo, look, this is what you look for. Going out now, first of all, if you put your drink down and walk away from it and you go back, assume that someone put something in it. Don't touch it. Dead serious. All right. If you put your cup down, always have your hand over your cup like this. Hen dog salute. Always put your hand over your cup. Assume someone's out to get you. Who was I watching? I was watching what's this singer's name? One of these young boys, man. I can't think of a song he ever. His face is in my head, but he was at a party, and his boy was filming him, and he was standing there with his cup, and he's just like looking around. This white girl walks up to him, walks past him very nonchalant, and you see her drop something in his drink. And then just walked like in the back and just turned around and was staring at him. And he looked down like this and looked in the cup and went like this. And he just stared. And then you hear his boy go, yo, because he started walking towards him. And he says, I felt her do something. And he looked in the cup. And when he looked in the cup, you see her turn around and slide off. For him to be tweaking and be on, I don't know, Entertainment Tonight. So-and-so had a nervous breakdown or poisoned. They're trying to do, people are ruthless. They're trying to do it with your cup. Listen, I could have a cup of juice. Like when I go out, I'm like, what can I get you for? You got pineapple juice? And they'll put the pineapple juice in the cup with ice, and they'll give me one of the straws. You don't know what's in it. But I hold my glass to my chest like this. If I put it down like that, I have my hand over the whole cup. Assume the worst. I'm not socially inept. I'm not at all. At all. Trust nothing. Old girl, that I went to school with, as soon as she got to college, boy, she hooked up with some dude, got pregnant, and came right back home. She didn't know any better. And like the sister Amina said, her parents failed her. And that's why I started talking about the church. Because her parents were big into the church. All of that church. Don't just tell them, yo, man, the Lord don't want you having premarital sex because it's a sin and it's bad. No. Break it down. Comes to the point where you got to take, and these kids are fast paced today. Comes to the point where you got to break it down. Listen, this is why you don't do it. Before, we had to pick up something called encyclopedias to find out what STDs are. Since encyclopedias are no longer on the market, it's called Google now. There have been several new STDs. So now you can just get online and show these kids, yo, look, you running around, laying and playing, this could be your future. Yeah, you think a condom will block this? No, this person used the condom. What happens if the condom breaks? Oh, pregnancy's the least of your worries. What if he has this? What if he has that? All of these girls that are just they're hoeing and going. Who they hoeing with? Other than each other. Don't think it can't happen to you. I want y'all to think about something. Put a 1 in the chat if you remember your first HIV test. Put a 1 in the chat. The very first one I took was 1994, out of high school. Let me ask y'all a question. All y'all pressing 1. Let me ask y'all a question. At first, you're like, I ain't got it. And then when they taking that blood or your piss, don't your brain start fucking with you? You're like, yo, there was that one time, and then there was that other time, and then I broke up with her because I know she was, oh shit. Back in the day, you used to have to wait 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, that was the worst 2 weeks of my life. I stayed in the crib. I didn't want to talk to nobody on the phone. I couldn't play my Nintendo. I couldn't concentrate. I'm walking to the crib. I was living with my mother at the time. I'm walking to the crib. She's like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. You all right? Couldn't sleep, waking up every hour, going outside with bags under my eyes. I was like, yo, what's wrong with you? Nothing? No, there's something wrong with you. Nothing? I'd sneeze and be like, oh my God, do I got it? Y'all remember? Bro, Dangerous Desires, Bully, salute. And this is in the 90s. You had to wait 2 weeks. You had to go to a clinic. And then you're like, I ain't got nothing. And then you're like, you start thinking about all the, okay. And you start thinking, you started trying to start rationalizing. You ran up in her with no hat. It was like, well, I was just, just the tip. I'll never forget this. I went and I sat down with the dude about to, draw my blood. He said, how you doing? I said, hey, you doing, And it was free clinic. It was on Fulton Avenue on 170 something. Between Fulton and 3rd. There was a clinic up there for a little while. And it's a nice guy. And he's like, yeah, so, tell me about yourself. And I was like, yeah, whatever. He said, well, are you active? Yeah, I got a girlfriend. He said, well, how many girlfriends? I was like, oh, nah, I got a girlfriend, but, So I use protection, not all the time. With who? Just your girl? He's like, oh, wait, her, not all the time, but, when I'm out and about, of course, He said, okay, are y'all open? I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you're out and about. Is she out and about? Do you know that you know of? And I'm like, nah, but I ain't here all the time. And he says, well, is it a possibility? Have you ever considered? I was like, no, why would I? No, I'm just here to get checked. So you wouldn't think you would have it? I was like, nah. He said, have you ever had any flu-like symptoms? And it wasn't flu season. Now, we're in flu season now because we're in the winter. What he was asking was, have you ever caught the flu in the summer or in the spring when it was not the flu season? And I said, I don't recall. No. He says, well, have you ever considered if do you think you have it? And I was like, no. And then he said, what if you do? Took me out. And I was like, oh, no, I don't think about it. He said, oh, well, he started handing me pamphlets and he swabbed me up and took the blood. And he says, I just want to get you guys educated because, we don't judge you, but, if you're out and about, you need to be safe. There's a fish bowl full of condoms, take as many as you want. I'm talking to him. He's listening. I'm listening to him. And I took the fish bowl and dumped it. I had a JanSport bag. Did I ever tell you about the JanSport bag? I had a JanSport bag, and whenever I went on the road to do security, I told you I used to do security for rappers and stuff like that. I used to bounce at clubs and lounges up and down the East Coast. You can either buy the condoms or you can go to the hospital and get them for free. And I took the fish bowl, and I dumped some of them in the bag. And I used to go to a Montefiore Medical Center on Bainbridge Avenue, and in the other building downstairs, around the back, they had a fish bowl, and I used to dump them in the bag. We had a JanSport bag full of hats. And as he's talking to me, I left there with my heart racing because magically I started remembering things that were done that I forgot about. And I was like, shit. And he said, well, what if you do? And he started handing me pamphlets, numbers to call. And he's like, yeah, it's completely confidential, but we don't want you to get suicidal because it's not the end of the world. Medicine is better now. And I'm like, whoa, you're talking to me as if I'm dead already. What are you talking about? I was like, yo, I did not like that. And I left there shaking. I sat in the car. I was like, yo. And then people start popping in. It's like, yo, there was that time in Philly. And then, one of my boys in school was a Q dog. Are there any Q dogs in the chat? Anybody? Do you know any Q dogs from college? Do y'all know? Do y'all know who they are? Anybody in the chat? Q dog? Any Qs? Oh, I know Angel, but he scared the fuck out of me. I was about, I was 94, 95. I was like 18, 19. Night Train, you know what Q dogs are. Snacks, what up? Bro. Q dogs. When I went to my boys' college, oh my gosh. Sam Mack, bro, Michael Jordan's a Q. Shaq is a Q. Whenever you see them go like this and start barking, they all got a brand somewhere on their body. It looks like a horseshoe. Hey, bro. At my boy's school, I ain't gonna say the school, when I went to go visit him and chill with him, all they did was bang chicks at parties. It was insane. It was insane. And I recall an instance where I went in there and I was with a chick and the bag popped. And I didn't know until I was finished. And I looked down, I was like, oh. Her response was, oh no, I'm good. I'm on, BC, birth control. I'm like, but still, I am not the only cat that's, and no harm, no foul. You just don't, if you don't think about it, it'll go away. And no, I blocked it out my mind until I went and got tested. And I was like, yo, all of a sudden when I forgot about her, it popped right up in my mind. I was like, oh shit, what if? And then little instances start popping up that I forgot about. And I'm like, yo, worst 2 weeks of my life, Brody. I was so happy. They said, they said, they were gonna they said they're gonna get back to me via mail. So I made sure, yeah, Gary, you know about it. You know about it. I made sure that I checked the mailbox because my mom's nosy. She was the type that'll open up my mail and be like, oh, I thought it was mine. Come on. You see, my name, the name you gave me is right here. Why are you, man? Stay blessed, Sweet Demon, man. Thank you for showing up, man. Stay blessed. Thank you. Man, I got it out the box and I stared at it, brought it upstairs. My heart was racing and I opened it up. And yo, you start saying the stupidest shit in that those 2 weeks. You like, yo, it's not stupid, but it's like, I swear to God, I'll be responsible. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna do nothing until I'm married. And you start saying all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna go to church tomorrow, and you start saying all this stuff, bro. And I opened it up and I'm reading, and I remember I had a tear in my eye, and it was about to drop. And I'm reading it. And it said, yeah, the findings are negative. And my heart was right here. Do, 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 do. It said, yeah, it's negative. But we want to insure you. And you know what happened? In the envelope, it was kind of thick. They taped a condom onto the letter. So I'm like, and then my boy, he got his too. And he was like, yo, you ever thought about if it was positive, you think that it still sent that condom? I was dying laughing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, you already struck out, buddy. The last thing you need is to be using this thing. Man, I said, maybe they're encouraging, because, you know, some people, they'll be like, no, this ain't real, this ain't real. Well, if you're going to, like, not be honest about it, at least wear that. Man, listen, I was goofed up for those. I'll never forget those 14 or so days. I was messed up, bro. I was messed up. But I was so happy. And I ain't do nothing for about a good, like 2-3 months after that. I was just, I ain't want to touch nothing. I was just like, whoo. Came outside smiling. I was like, yo, you better now? What happened? What was you going through? And I told my boys, I said, yo, I was waiting for my results, bro. And it was like bothering me. It was bothering me, bro. And come to find out, at least 2 of my boys went through the same situation. They were like, yeah, you know, I took my test, you know, like last year. And then I thought about it. I started, same thing. I started thinking of remembering shit that I did that I forgot about. It's like, ooh. So, yeah. But one of the symptoms that I did know about, and I know why he asked that, from what I've read and for what people have told me, because I did know somebody that had it. It was a woman too. I used to work with her. She told me she knew something was strange when she was seeing a dude, and one day, like she said, he had went away to his country. He was, I think he was from I don't know where he was from, I forgot. But he came back and he you know, they got together, and she said like about a week later or something, she said she felt like very like weak. She said she felt like she had the flu. If y'all ever had the flu really bad, I had the flu really bad one time in my life, and that shit took me out. There was like a bad flu going around in the city. Like everyone was getting sick. I got sick. My pops had got sick. Um, it was crazy, and I was just like in the bed. The smell of food made me want to Earl. It was crazy, and she told me she was weak, and she was like had a stuffy nose. She was vomiting and everything else. But the strangest thing, um, this was summertime when this happened to her. And when she got it, it went away like in 2 days, like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. It went away like nothing happened. It said it knocked her out for like 2 days. She called out of work. And then like a couple of days later, she was fine. Like, And you know, she didn't think nothing of it. And something happened in between. And they broke up, and you know, there's I'm just jumping ahead. There was a lot of things, but then there was like something off with her, and then she went. And if you don't request those tests, they don't just do it. But she was trying to find out what was going on with her. So then they asked her, look, we're going to run all of this tests. Do you want us to check you for that? She said, oh yeah, go ahead. And remember those 2 weeks? The tests have gotten so official that they get back to you that day. And she was sitting down, and the doctor walked in on the clipboard that says, listen, you're single? Okay, well, listen, you just got your results back, and this is what it is. And she said she had a panic attack right there. But by then, it's years later, and as y'all know now, having that is not a death sentence because the medicine is that much better. But the fact that you have it, it's like crazy. So, when she told that story, that bust my ass, bro. That shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. So I was like, oh my gosh, bro. I can't imagine that. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. And she lived with it. And she had to call this fool on the phone and, you know, went through the no, you gave it to me type thing. But if you knew her, you can tell I believed everything she told me. She's not like that. You know, clearly it was him. And you know, nothing you can do about it. When you put your faith in somebody, there's nothing you can do about it. It's crazy, man. But she's alive. She's chilling. And damn, how long I known? I know her for about like 17 years. And she's chilling. She's chilling, you know. Back in the 80s, that was like a damn near death sentence. But you know, now it's different. But you know, it's crazy, right? Man, but to be socially inept. Now that doesn't mean you're socially inept. She just got caught out there. But you got to have a combination of two things. You can be academically brilliant, but socially you can't be a fool. Yeah, I know, Shaw. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Yeah, Snacks B, there's people just living with it. And they, like I said, the medicines are better now. You can like have a full life with it. You know, but crazy. Gotta be careful out here, bro. Seriously. I encourage you, brothers, before you think of doing something crazy, go home and shake dice so you can think straight. If you still like in that mental state, you ain't got to splash everything. You really don't. You really don't. But whatever, man. That's another conversation. But you can't be socially inept. You'd be amazed, someone is so academically smart, but like, how did he get strung out on drugs? Didn't know any better. The peer pressure. Cracking under peer pressure. Nobody could peer pressure me. I promise you. Nobody could. I was a leader. Even when you clowned me, like, oh, well, you can't do that. Whatever, man. Right, y'all go ahead. I'll be over there. I'll be corny over there. I'll be corny over there. You go ahead and do this. You're socially inept. Like old girl I went to school with, she got talked out of her drawers. Been telling us no. I never pressed her. I clearly wasn't her type, but she spent her time in high school telling everyone no, got to college, told someone yes, and bang. See that? Crazy, right? And what and I said earlier, that's when I started talking about the church thing. Her parents failed her because they were in the church, but they never explained to her, okay, this is why you don't do what you do. That's why we started talking about the STDs and stuff. This is why. You don't just tell them don't do it because God said so. Because kids are very simple. God, I don't see no God. I can't touch him. I can't feel him. No, but it's in your spirit. Kids ain't hearing that. They're into things that are tangible. But you know what you tell them? Go to the top of this building and jump off this motherfucker. It's called gravity. You can't see it, but I promise you it's very real. What? Jumping off the building, that's how they're gonna sound. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. This is why you don't have premarital sex. This is why you don't you tell this to kids. This is why, this STD thing is very real. Getting burned is very real. This is why you don't do certain things. This is why you don't do drugs. Crappy Slappy, I'm reading your comment. Yeah. Listen, man. Listen, bro. You gotta thank God, thank Allah, thank Jehovah, and thank the Lord. You turned 51 in 2 weeks. Blessings to you, good brother. For real, man. I'm sure nobody in here is perfect, but there was a time where you made a decision, and you're looking back right now, it's like, yo, that decision could have went left. And I'm so glad it worked out for me. You dig what I'm saying? Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, man. You hear about it all the time. This person was so brilliant, so smart, and then they get caught out there over something so trivial that we know better. What you mean he on crack? I asked y'all about Len Bias earlier a second ago, right? Y'all remember what happened to him? Y'all remember what happened to Len Bias? Wasn't he the #1 pick in the NBA to the Celtics? It was going to be him and I think Reggie Lewis. They were about to be a dynamic duo in wrestling power to Reggie Lewis too, because he had a condition. Yeah, get your colonoscopy when you get a certain age. I done had 2 already. Thank you, Young Hollywood. That's what happened to him. Len Bias was the #1 draft pick by the Celtics. And to celebrate, he was hanging out with some college friends, done got the Celtics contract and everything else. And he took 1 hit of the snow and he died. And when they did a test on him, they said they had traces of cocaine in it. And from what I heard, that was the first and only time he ever hit the snow. The first and only time, and the brother passed. Do you know how tragic that is? My mother, when they announced that, yeah, they said he was about to be better than MJ. Yeah, look it up, Len Bias. And I'm telling you, man, when that was announced, I remember my mother when they mentioned that. The man who announced it was Tom Brokaw. Y'all know who This is Tom Brokaw.
Bukaki.
That's him. That's him. And when he announced it, he took a deep breath, like he didn't even want to say it. Like, yeah, they did an autopsy and traces of cocaine was found in his blood. My mother said, "God damn it!" And she got up and stormed off like she lost a son. Because drugs tore our community up. That kid had no business. And you know what I think? Not only did the cocaine not agree with him, but I think he may have been allergic to it. Imagine smoking marijuana and not knowing that you're on top of that, you're allergic to it. Imagine that. It took him out. That absolutely sucked, man. My mother, that hit her hard, and she don't even watch ball like that. But the fact that this kid made it, and then one night, one of his dumbass friends said, "Yo, man, just hit this, man. You know, what if he lived and now he got a habit?" That's not your friend. How does a friend rationalize that? Is he like, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have did that"? Or is he like, "Well, he's grown. He didn't have to do it." Trying to rationalize it. Huh? Man. Len knew better, man. Len knew better. And you know why that hits home with me? There was a cat that lived around my way, and I'll say his name because he's no longer with us. His name was Derek McMillan. And he was an athlete. And I don't remember the full story. He was a little older than me. He's like my brother's age. But he did something good, and they were celebrating, and the same shit happened to him. But the rumor is somebody put the yayo in some marijuana with something else, and he smoked it and went to sleep and didn't wake up. I remember that, and I remember Derek very, very clear. He's a short, brown-skinned, light-skinned dude with waves, and he was an athlete. And I forgot what was going on. He may have been going to college or something, but he lived on the other side from where I lived. And I forgot what building number that is. But that was insane, bro. And when you're a kid, you don't think that, you know, dudes around your age, you don't think about shit like that. But when I remember we came to school and people were just like gloomy. Oh, shower, I don't remember. But I know it was like kind of dark because everybody had a little brother that was my age or a little cousin or sister. And I remember, I think he had I don't remember if he had a little brother, but there was cats that lived we all lived in the same neighborhood. So cats like lived near him. And there was one kid that was like, yo, I live downstairs from him. I forgot what floor he lived on, but he could hear the screams at like 3 in the morning. And it woke him up, and the parents was up, and it was like, yo, they went upstairs and he heard his parents talking about it. I was like, yo, he's not making, they called 911 and he's not moving. Like, who? Derek. What? And then you found out what happened. His friends were chilling with him and oh yeah, try this. You think he didn't know not to do drugs? Oh, here, it's just once. Just all right, I'm gonna do it. And then look at the result. And at the time, he may have been maybe 17. Because I was about 11 or 12 when that happened. He was like about 17. You think he don't know better? Come on, man. You can't be socially inept. And he wasn't that socially inept. He used to be outside. You know, he ain't getting no trouble. But you don't know any better? Okay, just this once. Now look. Come on, man. His face is in my mind. I remember him clearly, and it was gloomy. The teachers had to come in the classroom and talk to us. We weren't in high school. We were still in junior high school. And then they had to come talk to us like because everyone knew him. I don't recall doing any work that day. That was like, yeah, you know, things happen. I want you guys to be. There was kids that like seen him every day, and they were like off. They were like, yo, what? It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Derek McMillan. Crazy stuff, man. You know better. You have to know better. All the academics in the world, you have to have that balance, man. You absolutely have to have that balance. You can't do... You gotta tell these grown kids what not to do. I never understood it, man. You know, you work hard, you act your ass off, and you wait till you're like 30 years old to get to Hollywood to start niffing. You know better than that. Nobody could peer pressure me to do a mother effing thing. I promise you. Yo, come on, man. Stop being a puss, man. You go ahead. I'm all right. I can occupy myself. I have hobbies. I used to write rhymes. Still write poetry. Video games. And I used to have a closet full of porn. I was good. I'll holler at y'all later. I can occupy myself. Thank you. I draw. I'll go home. Can't be socially inept. I'm never in a place where you could see me like, wow. I might be like that, but you won't see it like, yo, that's nice over there. Oh, that's nice over there. But I'm acting like I'm not moved because I don't want people to see me flabbergasted because I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. You have to be that way. I left my beer at the table when I was working at a club one day, and I had to go talk to somebody. When I came back, there was a lemon in it. I went back to the bartender. I asked her, I said, you put a lemon in this Heineken? She says, that was yours? I said, yeah. She said, I didn't do that. Give me another one, please. Who the fuck put a lemon in my Heineken? I'm good. I'm good. Don't be socially inept. I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I'm tired. You see my eyes? They're red. And I gotta get up in the morning. But salute to y'all, like and share the video, man. Salute to everyone in the Venmo, the Zelda Cash App. Y'all be careful, man. Y'all be careful out here. And make sure y'all sweet to one another, man. Be nice to one another. All right? Be nice to one another. Try to be. And catch y'all on the rebound, man. Take it gently.